It's finally time to roll for the foxes. In honor of their canonical squad food, I've bought some inari sushi for the occasion. Hope you've got snacks of your own ready too. I've been waiting for this occasion for a long time. It's an understatement to say that I was hyped. They've got cool designs, they're gassed up super hard in the story as the Special Forces. We're meant to treat them with the kind of reverence that Miyako does in the promotional video. And at long last, the time has come to roll for them. Otogi is a freebie as part of the lore pursuit event, so today's targets are Niko and Kurumi. A more thorough analysis video of their kits and meta impact is still in the works, but I'll go ahead and leave a personal verdict here. Purely based on existing content, neither of them will be required for Platinum in Japan at least, probably. Kurumi is used in some of the variations of Fast Kaiten, but unless you're planning on tackling Lunatic, she wouldn't be considered absolutely necessary. In terms of current content, Niko is for the Chokma enjoyers, where she's become a staple of the higher floor comps pretty much right after her release. I asked them, sell me this fox, to which they requested, well, put down this metal dragon. But otherwise, there aren't any immediately apparent trophy rating scenarios where she'll edge out the other EX damage buffers, so mainly pull them if you're scared of the future. Or you do Lunatic and want somewhat versatile students. Also, if you're up to date on recent Japan updates, there won't be any Plana animations in this video unfortunately, because I was impatient. I bum rushed the gacha without confirming the conditions for getting the Plana animations, probably before I had even confirmed that there was a Plana animation at all. You have to finish a certain amount of the new main story, part 2, before you get her participating in the summon animation. And now, I'll probably have to wait until Fest 5.5 to see Plana doing her best, to sabotage our pools. Knowing how they've been tempting the weak-minded sensei with things like the armed Yuzu and Reina, there will be more seductive pyro burning opportunities between now and Fest. Let's get started with the pull rituals though. First off is the Spook Hopes chart. There's the new edition of Konoka from the last Rena banner, because I was a cheap sensei who didn't want to spend 60 extra pulls on her. Anyone who doesn't finish Sparks knows how this works. I'm never going to see her for all of eternity now. And I'll eventually have to spend a selector ticket on her once it's revealed that she's the most humanist of rights. For whatever they keep teasing us with, making all of these debuff cleansing red armor strikers. I mean, she's already started proving herself in Kaiten Lunatic since apparently the machine gun in phase 2 hits like a truck, and it got an upgrade in the number of hits so that it can trigger Konoka's cost reduction. But is this really her final destination? It's not the worst fate, but somehow it would feel underwhelming. Like if Konoka asks, what is my purpose? I'd have to tell her, you soak machine gun hits in Kaiten phase 2, and that would break my heart. She's a good girl. A little more historical archiving like, let's flash these percentages real fast for posterity, and let's get started. Niko's first, wish me luck. And let's not forget about the tofu cam. Let's just move that out of the way. Oh, and would you look at that? Already a pink. Maybe the summoning catalyst is already working its magic. Kon. Because, what does the fox say? The first pink of the meal is Rumi, the chef that leaves no one hungry. She's not human rights, but her existence as a yellow armor cleanse / AoE healer has given her a few instances where she's been useful. Her representation in the first run of Pararozilla Lunatic was decently high around 5th team on, but we've also had a lot of power creep from the recent Fest in Blue. So depending on how many teams that cuts, she might be on her way out. So when is he gonna eat the inari sushi, you might be wondering? And the answer is every 50 pulls. If we're lucky and don't have to spark, we celebrate by, you guessed it, eating the rest of the inari sushi. But don't look now, it's another pink. And so I pray.
今日はメイドになってみました。よろしくお願いいたします。ご主人様。
Maid Midori? She was on my Spook One chart for a short while, because she was my favorite character to use during the Bullet Hell minigame during Akira's event. There was also a very short period where we didn't have the Pink Princess or even Nozomi available, so I'm happy to welcome her to the team even if she likely won't be seeing much action for the foreseeable future. I'm 80% certain this was supposed to be a piece of inari sushi. Midomo. One of my friends is quite the fan of her. I can't say I don't not kind of understand her appeal, even if she rubbed me the wrong way at first. She's supposed to be used in Kurokage, but even there she just can't compete with the pink pervert. Maybe I'll use her in body throwing when I'm desperately trying to squeeze out a clear. since I'm missing some components of the standard clear, assuming we haven't reached a lunatic cutoff by the next run already. Now the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to eat the sushi. One bite at least. That was pretty good. Yes, I did wash my hands after taking that bite, and I'll be using chopsticks for every bite after this one, since the washing hands bit was kind of a hassle. As you can see by the ... I'm starting to get concerned. Hey, that's the logo I like to see.
SRT 特殊学園フォックス招待の吉野ニコです。ふつつかものではありますが、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Did I mention it yet? A sensei isn't supposed to have favorites, but I'll say it. Niko's my favorite fox. She puts out such healing energy and she has her own flavor of mischievous kindness. I would have been so sad if she didn't come home as a pickup. It just isn't the same when you have to spark your favorites. I'll be praying that Chokma isn't her peak. Anyways, this session is saved. Ideally, I get Kurumi and can just back out since neither of them are that high a priority for sparking. Let's just switch on over to Kurumi for summoning. Ready? Set? Go. We're at the 100 pull mark, and I think it's about time for a bit of celebration. We've already brought Niko home after all. How about another bite of sushi? Yep, that's pretty good. Nice, one piece of sushi gone. Only one left. And what do you know? A double. Tsukuyo, the giant tree. She's mainly used in hovercraft for the massive healing with each time she gets stunned. Even in Lunatic, 3 stars is fine, but some extra bulk never hurts. Not the worst draw by far. 2 new students, very nice.
ごきげんよう先生。レッドウィンター連邦学園出版部所属の三好高根と申します。よろしくお願いいたしますわね。
Takane? What? I'm allowed to hit students on my spook wish list? She's not human rights for middle of the pack platinum on anything, but Red Kokono was certainly an underserved niche. And she's a reasonably flexible fill anywhere her armor permits. She's particularly good for hovercraft phase 2 to heal the turrets, and she might have been good if being a lunatic needed more teams. Just gotta wait till Nightmare, I guess. Her event is also a contender for Best Blue Archive Event Story, which gave her points in my book. On an aside, the foxes like Inari Zushi as a nod to the Japanese god Inari that is associated with foxes and tofu. It tastes a bit vinegary and sweet depending on who makes it. 150 pulls. Congratulations, you've made it to the 3rd sushi checkpoint. I've checked and yeah, it still tastes good. I mean, I've technically already hit the 3% pink ratio for this session after the last hit, so I think it's fair to be satisfied with this result. If I get any more, it would certainly be welcome, but that's the kind of greed that gets you a karmic punch to the face later. Looks like we're not done getting pinks after all. Kaho is number 1, or so she would be if power levels were determined by how much you stand Chisei. That's not the Kivotos that we live in though. Never seen her used. Not sure we'll ever see her used at all. Why don't you make me regret those words, Kaho? But thanks for the Eligma in any case. I can't believe it's already the 200th pull. One last chance? No? Fine. I'll take the consolation prize of finishing this Inari Zushi. Delicious. I think I needed a better catalyst for Kurumi. She's not so cheap as to be lured out by tofu alone, it seems. Let's go ahead and spark her.
SRT 特殊学園フォックス招待のポイントマン高倉くるみよ。先生の護衛は私に任せて。全力で守るわ。そういうことだからよろしくね。
And next to check out the dangling. Very cute. You know, Kurumi's starting to grow on me. Among the many recent flavors of tsundere we've gotten, this is closer to the type that I find endearing. Time for a recap to the backdrop of the spook wishes. 1 pickup of the most important bestest fox, 1 spark, and 1 spook-a-wish fulfilled. We even beat the 3% expected value. Not bad. Most importantly, I got to eat some pretty tasty inari sushi. I am, however, still a bit bitter about not getting to witness the plant animations. Until next time. Bye.